Welcome to Mind of Advent, everybody. Today we are going to be tackling a little topic that might be a little controversial. Today we are talking about climate change, and I found a little video from the Washington Post. Let's dig into it a little bit, shall we?
Talk to a kid about really any kind of problem, their first response will be very, very straightforward. Let's try to fix it.
How are they going to tackle this issue of climate change?
They will skip class tomorrow for the first national school strike over climate change.
So they're not going to school? That's how they're going to fix this problem of climate change? Not going to school and trying to learn how to actually affect things, but to just not go.
Almost all of them are students. This group behind me, just 9 years old. We spoke to a group of 17-year-olds who said they're here today to fight for their future.
You see, this is why nobody can take this whole thing too seriously, right? Because really, it's just any reason to not have to go to class, isn't it, guys? Any reason to not have to go to class.
Young people are realizing that the generations above us, the adults in the room, are asleep at the wheel.
Okay, so maybe this does make a little bit of sense, but wait, they're not asleep at the wheel, they are corrupt. So the problem with the climate and all of these issues that you're saying is pollution driven has nothing to do with them being asleep at the wheel. It's that there is money to be made killing the planet. Let's hear from some of these other children that are involved in this little movement here.
My name is Greta Thunberg. I am 15 years old and I'm from Sweden. I speak on behalf of climate justice now.
This is Greta. She is the more prominent figure of all this climate thing, but I just want you to hear something real quick.
I speak on behalf of climate justice now.
Let me know if you noticed what she said there. You know, she speaks on behalf of an organization, which means somebody is giving her things to say. So, I don't know if you guys know, but using children is actually a very common practice in lobbying. They like to parade children in front of congressmen and stuff to pull at their heartstrings and whatnot. So, using kids is nothing new.
You are not mature enough to tell it like it is.
You're basically a voice actor.
Even that burden you leave to us children. But I don't care about being popular. I care about climate justice and a living planet.
Okay then, Greta, what do you and your script writers propose we do to get this problem under control?
A youth climate movement that could go to scale, that could actually put forward and popularize solutions to the climate crisis that were at the scale of the climate crisis. And in doing so, Sunrise Movement was born.
Okay, so here's a group of young kids that might have some ideas on how we can turn this climate problem that we have around and get it under control. Let's see what they have to say.
Key thing to understand about the Green New Deal is that it's not a narrow climate policy. It is an action plan for the next economy, which says we need to get off fossil fuels in a huge hurry. This next decade is make or break.
It was an action plan several members of Congress got behind.
When we talk about a Green New Deal, we are talking about jobs and justice.
We are outlining the Green New Deal, and in the spirit of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, we have the Green New Deal and we have Green New Deal projects.
That kind of sounds like they just have like things in the works in little quotation marks, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, we have this. It's really just legislative mumbo jumbo. Do you actually have any solutions to bring to the table, or are you just flapping your gums?
Amanda Cabrera is just 8 years old. She's been taking part in the Friday school strike for weeks.
What's the point of going to school if there's not going to be a need for it? You're not going to need the education if we're not going to have a work. So what's the point of going to school?
Okay, I'll admit it. It's not fair for me to use that clip because it's the mindset of an 8-year-old is just like, well, why would we want to go to school if in 10 years the world's going to be dead? That's not, but I mean, they chose to leave that in, though. They interviewed an 8-year-old and got her opinions on these heavy hitting matters. They got the opinion of an 8-year-old. Fucking great journalism, guys. Great journalism. Alright, though, for real, let's get back on point.
But it's only a first step.
We need to write the first policy associated with the Green New Deal. Not the whole shebang, not a 10,000-page document that takes everything that's in the resolution and turns it into a bill, but just one piece of it. I'm not sure exactly what this first piece of legislation will look like. We are talking with members on the Hill, but I think whatever it is, we will face a huge amount of opposition, and we will need to build the movement support to ensure it passes.
Wait a minute, did she just pretty much admit the fact that they are bringing absolutely nothing to the table yet? That they have absolutely nothing to show for this? That they have no legislation, they have no ideas, they have nothing to show for all of this? They have no ideas? They're in the works with people trying to get ideas, which means they're wanting people to fix the problem for them. They're not wanting to actually put in any of the work.
And I think that's the real game changer.
Yep, that sure is the game changer, isn't it? That sure is the game changer, is having it rigged in your favor from the beginning.
We have to build an army, we have to build a movement of people, build a movement of political allies. We have to build an aligned force of thousands of organizations across the country that can meet that moment and that can go toe-to-toe, head-to-head with the wealthiest people on this planet and maybe even win.
Okay, everybody, all jokes aside, all poking fun at all this, I'm down for trying to save the planet and all that stuff too. I'm down for us trying to acquire clean, renewable energy sources. And there is actually one that makes a lot of sense. Solar panels, way too pricey at the moment. You have to have all these battery banks, way too, it's not where it needs to be yet. Windmills are terribly expensive, and they are also extremely dangerous because they break down, and you're talking about really big things that can break down and fall on people. So that is not necessarily a good idea. But we will look at this picture right here of this random river. Just a random river, okay. We're going to have a little diagram, little things drawn on it here. A, B, and C. You take the river, along the path of the river, at point A, you just basically make a little slot into the river, wrap it around down to point C, and in the middle at point B, you have a little thing right there for hydroelectronic, or for making hydroelectricity. Boom, problem solved, right? I just did more work than any of your little movement over with this, the Green Party or whatever you guys are going by, climate change preventers, whatever you call yourselves. Boom, I just did more work than all y'all. I just solved all your problems. There you go. Do these hydroelectronic things to all the rivers, and you have all of your issues dealt with. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Mind of Advent. So, peace out, guys. Have a wonderful day. I love all your faces. Thanks for stopping by the channel today, and I will see all of you on the next video. Mwah. Love all your faces.